We all hear the word microfinance banks thrown around. But have you ever wondered, just like me, what do they actually do? So we thought of bringing experts into the studios to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is WHAGIT, What's Good in Tech. I am your host, Seun Koshoedo. This episode is sponsored by Fifth Lab and Finage. Now, microfinance banks, what is the future of this industry? Why do they exist? The experts are here to talk about it. In the studio today, I have got on my far right, Moradeke Akintola, who is the business director platforms at Fifth Lab. And just right beside me, I have got John Okeke, who is the product manager, Finage. So I will start. Let's get down to business. I'll start from Moradeke. What are microfinance banks all about? I feel like they just exist without people really knowing what they do. Coming from the marketing perspective, commercial banks are quite aggressive with their marketing campaigns. They make a lot of noise. They're intentional about creating some awareness. Even agency banking companies as well that just even started yesterday are creating some awareness about agency banking, the market that they serve and what they do. But microfinance banks are just quiet. There's little or nothing on any knowledge about them or why they exist. So who are these guys and why do they exist?
Okay, thank you very much, Seun, for that question. It's not like the microfinance bank don't exist. So the first thing I need to talk a little bit about who they are. The microfinance bank are actually financial institution, and their major goal is for them to serve the low-income individuals and businesses in the society. I know when you are reading out some of the statistics, we see that a lot of population, especially in Nigeria, are still unbanked. And that is also the reason why CBN had to, with the goal of reducing the financial excluded people, introduce the microfinance bank so they can go down to the grassroots. They are able to give small loans to credit at least. Some businesses do not even have those collateral. They don't have credit history. They are able to get this loan from this microfinance banks to empower them to help their businesses. Even individual too, you don't need to have that collateral, which a typical traditional bank will ask you for some level of collateral before you can take some fund. So that is the job of what the microfinance bank do. Yes, you're right that they are not well known, and I would say yes, they do poorly with respect to marketing, but they are there. We have over 800 microfinance banks that are licensed, and a lot of them are doing so much in their space. Maybe for the fact that they focus more on communities, maybe for the fact that they focus more on the low income people, and they also want to cut costs because funding is also a major issue for them. So they're trying to see as much as possible for them to reduce their expenses so that they can become profitable. So maybe those factors also affect them with respect of telling people what they are. But I'm sure the game is changing, would change in the future.
Okay, I was going to ask the question that maybe one of the challenges is the fact that they are underfunded, but you already addressed that. So, John, do you want to make any contribution to what Dike has said?
I'm going to ride on that statement saying it's changing because of the introduction of technology and ways of doing things and doing businesses, which most of these microfinance are embracing. So we are beginning to hear more of them now. So they're not more confined within the communities. People can reach them from their locations by a click of technology. So the game is changing and they are coming to fore now. We're beginning to see some of them taking that space aggressively.
Okay. So Dike, back to you. What transformation is concerned? Do you think that the microfinancial banks are ready for transformation, and what makes them ready?
I rather want to answer this question this way.
Okay.
The microfinance bank actually have that potential to transform through the use of technologies. But transformation still depend on how ready they are, their level of readiness, and the willingness to adopt new technology. I've seen some microfinance banks today that have really advanced through the use of technology, which I would say they have transformed There are a lot of them which I won't want to just mention their names so that I'm not doing advert for them for free because I'm not right. So yes. So but they are adopting a lot of this new technology, and they've transformed beyond the community banking kind of way that we always assume that is what the microfinance bank do. They begin to see like they're more like a Jay-Z kind of bank. So transformation for microfinance banks still depends on their business. I believe that technology will help to drive them. But are they ready? I can't answer the question for the microfinance bank, but I'll say a lot of them have actually transitioned. So I believe there is a probability to say that they're actually ready because they begin to see that things are changing. You don't move with the tribe. Technology is changing. You want to continue to do the same thing the same way. Nobody is going to use your platform. Yes, you're reaching the grassroots, but everybody is beginning to see that there are new ways of doing things. There are better ways of doing things. I can still get those credits that instead of going to one small microfinance bank that just have a stand, I can go online, download the mobile app, I get credits on the fly, and that's the same thing. And this fintechs, or I would say the financial technology that are riding on this microfinance bank licenses are already beginning to tell this microfinance bank that you need to transform as fast as possible.
Okay. So John, now to you. Thank you, Dike. To you, do you think the current strategy, of course, Dike has talked about transformation and how they're evolving, but I still think that they're adopting the underdog strategy. While we wait for the moment that they begin to promote themselves, do you think that the underdog strategy is working for these microfinance banks?
Well, before now, I would say it's working for them.
Okay.
So change in trends and the way business models have changed, and like she mentioned, the fintechs are riding on the same license that these microfinance banks have, and they are making so yes, it's working for them, but they need to integrate the trend of employing technology into their business. Like I said, if they don't keen in this wave, they'll be left behind. They will disappear. But the good thing is that based on conversations we're having with some of them, we are seeing they are ready, and some of them actually embrace this. So part of the package that they want to embrace your mobile banking, they want to embrace it as part of the package that you are giving them. We are giving them the core banking solution. So we have seen that trend is changing drastically, because if you're in the market and you have your market team getting feedback that outside your traditional banking, models of having a house and the structure, you need to embrace it. So yeah, underdog is working for their strategy, but they need to integrate that with the technology trend, which we've seen in some of the marks. That is making ways for them.
Okay. So Diken, you mentioned the fact that microfinance banks are underfunded. So I wanted us to talk a bit about the profitability of microfinance banks, considering the fact that we have fintechs doing almost the same things that they do, and we can see that these fintechs are profitable. Do you think, or what would you say is the profitability of microfinance banks, or should they just not exist?
Well, I would say that the profitability of a microfinance bank actually varies due to some factors. One also lies on their strategy, their business kind of model they do. What strategy do they adopt? And also, I've seen microfinance banks that are actually profitable. There's some I cannot mention. They even have branches, a lot of branches over Nigeria today, and they're doing very good. So when I look at what hurts their profitability, a lot of time is the lack of funding, which I mentioned. Then the interest rate on loan. The regulation for microfinance banks means then that they cannot charge those big interest rates because they're just giving very little credits to individuals. So their interest rate on those loans are very small. And then the competition, like you said, the fintechs are just there to drag the business with them. And when you also look at the fact that they give a loan to these customers that do not even have any history with respect to credit history or collateral, some of their loans go to default. So they have to now begin to see our strategy. So all those things affect their profitability. I will not say entirely that the entire microfinance bank is not profitable. A lot of them, or a lot of microfinance banks are profitable. They are very profitable. Why some are still trying to break even in that space. So profitability just depends on their strategy. So if some microfinance bank could do well, so that does not stop others from not doing.
Okay. So we talked about transformation at the beginning of our conversation, John. How can we transform these institutions?
Thank you. I think the process is already running. Of course, you can't really with technology. That is the basis for that engagement to happen. So they need to invest in technology. They need, first of all, they need to embrace technology of new ways of doing banking. Then they need to invest in technology, because you can't enjoy technology if you don't have the proper investment, and the right technology. So one thing is to embrace technology. One thing is to invest rightly. So that is where some of some of the fintechs, or when I say companies like us that provide these solutions, come into play. So investing in right technology will help them with this transformation. Then they might have to look at the business strategy. They might have to diversify their means of streams of income. Going to finance, insurance, as well as part of the, instead of focusing just within the banking of lending, just lending. So the room is there for them to expand once they embrace this technology and some other streams of making income to their system.
Okay. So they can write it. You wanted to say add something?
Yeah. So I also wanted to add to the fact that partnership and collaboration is one major thing that will transform the microfinance bank. We know that cost of funding, or even them embracing technology or investing in technology, is actually huge. So the fact that there are technology solutions companies that they could partner with, that will help them to drive their business in the technology space. So they will help them with those technology, so they can focus on their business operation. Why the partnership with technology company will not drive all their businesses, their services, for people to be able to reach them through digitally. So I think if they look at that partnership, that will also work.
Okay, so riding on that thought, let's brag about FinEdge a bit, and the potential for the market, especially within the microfinancial banking industry. So brag as much as you want about FinEdge. What is FinEdge about?
Yes, so I'll say that FinEdge is a core banking solution that is tailored more of creating an integrated banking payment automated services. And the main focus for it is to see how we focus on the microfinance bank and make them evolve, transition them from the traditional way to a digital way. We looked at what is happening in the microfinance space. We look at the troubles that they have with respect to using technology to drive their services, to ensure that there is more adoption within the space that they operate with, that the ecospace where they find themselves. And so FinEdge creates that ability for them to have a digital font. So it has it is able to integrate and also have its own digital banking solutions, such as mobile internet banking, which are even the basics for any banking that wants to start digitally today. And it also has the ability to also integrate with ATM, chats, POS, and every other. Even if you have agency banking, that those can use FinEdge. There are very unique features in FinEdge today that we've looked at. And before I even go into the unique feature, I also want to say that the model and the strategy that we put into FinEdge is the fact that we look at how can the microfinance bank adopt this without having so much to spend. So our pricing model makes it more unique. So we look at cloud shared. So that is you can do a subscription base. We also look at partnership. You can go into revenue share. So you don't spend so much on technology, but as you grow as a business, we as a company also grow. So we look at that. We have those kind of pricing model in FinEdge. And looking at the functionality, we make it simple as easy as possible. We know that one major people that drive the microfinance bank is that they are not so much, I'm talking about the traditional ones who have not really embraced technology. They are not so much technology savvy, and they want a system that is simple, a system that end of day you want to run end of days and the click of a button. I don't need to go to a technology education before I can use a core banking solution. So Finage comes with that ease, comes with that ability for you to customize. And because we've seen that FX is also a major issue. A lot of the core banking solution that we have today comes from these foreign countries, and they come in to dump solutions to us. Sometimes they don't even understand the regulations or the market of Nigeria today. So you see some of them, we need to change, there's a new regulation, we need this to be implemented into the system. Then they begin to say, we're coming back 2-3 weeks, those necessary information have not been integrated into the system. But we finish, because we are on an homegrown solution, we understand the market, we understand the theory, we know how things work. We've been in this industry for long, so we understand how the Nigerian business works. And these are the learnings that we put into Finage today. So when new regulation come on board, like the ICAD, the NDIC that was really introduced, immediately that was implemented into Finage. So these are some of those flexibility that the microfinance bank will enjoy when they onboard on Finage.
Thank you, Dike. That was a lot of bragging. John, so coming from the perspective of there's competition in the market, obviously, not so many, but rising at the same time. Then we have the major international competition that a lot of microfinancial financial institution in general have adopted. How will Finage stand out? More bragging.
For it. Yeah, from face value, those like come break even, but the truth is, over time, the experience of these clients or banks have shown that yes, I would say they are not good international solutions, but we've seen how dynamic the Nigerian market is. Changing policies, the change in human, the technology is moving fast. So for us, we are in a better position because, like you said, we understand this market. It's locally grown. We understand the regulations more than anybody. You don't need to communicate, get things changed. So we are the system. So we live within the system. So we own it. So we understand it. So that gives us the edge to always have an edge over any solution you can bring outside the market. You understand? Which we've seen with one of our clients. Some of our clients have embraced it. And so you might not, of course, you're not seeing us, but you are seeing the client. So we are the one behind the progress of this client. So we'll be able to break him in. We're able to see that we'll stand a chance. Just give us opportunity to serve you. The solution will speak for you. Your business processes, you see how business transforms. We'll let you know that, we'll have something locally that can actually serve the yearnings of our customers. It just gives us opportunity. We understand that we can actually prove you have something good in-house. Aside that, the capacity we've built over time within the ecosystem and within the product, because you understand. So you are not afraid of getting solutions. The support is top-notch. The deployment is within minimal time. We've done the fastest deployment within the financial sector. So you don't need months to run your business. Just give us a call and we'll have your system, study your environment, and give you the best of the services.
Okay, let's go for it. I hope you heard John. Give us the opportunity. You wanted to say those?
Yes, I also wanted to add that this foreign financial core banking, let me use that way, that we have today, that a lot of these banks have adopted. That what FX is happening today, and it's not helping everybody in the country as a whole. It means that we have a lot of more USD or foreign currency leaving the shore of Nigeria, rather than we having more of it coming in. People sourcing for our own product, but we're sourcing for this product outside, and even sourcing for FX today, in the context of Nigeria, is becoming very difficult. It's becoming a pain point to these banks. So Finage is being local. currency. Naira. So what's stopping from getting this?
What's stopping you?
There's no functionality that you see in these OEM solutions or this foreign solution that is not in Finnish. Another thing is also the language barrier. So we've seen cases where these company, a lot of them that comes from a particular country, and when you're trying to explain to them, oh, this is what I want, because of the language barrier, which means that English is not really their first priority. So you need to explain over and over again. Then you look at the time zone. You have a support, you have an issue, and then someone time zone is about 6 hours late or ahead of you. It means that the time you have the solution, you're looking for this OEM to support you. But with Finnish, you have everybody here. We're here to build Nigeria. We're here to ensure that Finnish also brings the money home, not take it outside.
Okay, thank you, Deke and John. So final thoughts, wrapping up right now. What developments are we projecting, Deke, for the future of the microfinance banks? Do you think that they will compete with the commercial banks or even be stronger than the commercial banks?
Sure.
I really don't see that the microfinance bank would maybe be stronger than the commercial bank. But I believe that they will compete with the commercial bank based on some market segment, especially with respect to the underbanks, because that is not the focus for the commercial banks. That is the focus for the microfinance bank. So when you go to that space, you're not definitely going to find the commercial bank. Though the commercial bank are also like using agency banking and the rest, but trust me, that is a space for the microfinance bank. So in terms of what are those kind of projection or things that I see that will happen in the microfinance bank rate, I see that there will be high adoption of technology because the wave is there. They're saying that if I don't come on digitally, I'm going to fade away. So that adoption of technology is going to be, I see more on partnership and collaboration. They're going to go into do partnership with maybe some fintech to see how they can boost their revenue and so on. So I see a shift. So those are the little two things that I believe will happen.
John, any addition to what Deke said?
Yeah. So interestingly, CBN regulation helps to define roles and spaces we play in, but because of the evolving nature of trends that happen in the financial sector, so it will look like a competition, but I think that's where the regulation will come in to help checkmate that. But the good thing is that microfinance bank, where you grow to a certain stage that you feel like you can play bigger space, you can apply for the license and move into that stage. So, but it will encourage so many other new business to the system to know that there's a lot that we can do at microfinance space, you understand? Because there are so many banks, locations that people are struggling to make use of the financial, system, because the big banks cannot invest, quote, their heavy infrastructure in those locations. But with the strength and the power of microfinance, we can actually cover these areas that big fintech, these big first-tier banks cannot take care of. So, yeah, the competition might be there, but for now, the focus should be for them to be able to capture the banks, which is the real point. But definitely competition will come because you're actually dragging the same clients or customers within the country. But we have enough that everybody can play in the space if you ask me. Yeah.
Thank you, Deke and John. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's show. Microfinance banks, why do they exist? John and Moradeke have done justice to breaking it down. And there are two things that I've gotten from today's conversation. First, microfinance banks are targeting the underbanked and the underserved part segment of the community. Secondly, microfinance banks have the potential to be disruptive if they stop playing the underdog role and embrace technology and embrace collaboration. I've had Moradeke Akintola, the business director of Platforms Fifth Lab, in the studio today, and John Okeke, the product manager for FinEdge, in the studio today. It has been interesting on WHAGIT Was Good in Tech. This episode was sponsored by Fifth Lab and FinEdge. Join me on the next episode. It's going to be interesting. I remain your host, Seun Koshoedo. Thank you. Bye.